Oh, alright, time to read some essays. Just love giving my students the opportunity to show off their writing skills. Okay, let's start reading. Essay number 1. Do you like homework? No. Do you think dogs are better than cats? I guess. This essay is about school uniforms. Don't these students know that they need to start off their essay with something interesting to catch the reader's attention? Where's the hook? Show me the hook! Hey everyone, Mr. Peter here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how to write a hook for your essay. A hook is just something interesting at the start of your essay that makes your reader want to keep going. If you don't have something interesting at the beginning, they might get bored and never even finish. The idea of starting off your writing with something interesting is something you'll use in every kind of writing, whether you're writing a fictional story, a personal narrative, writing a movie, or even making a YouTube video. Now in my last video, I might have said that writing the thesis statement is the hardest part of your essay. I may have lied. Though I do agree that you should definitely start writing your essay with the thesis statement, and if you haven't done so already, I would go back to my first video on tips on how to write a thesis statement. The first thing your reader is going to see is going to be your hook. So now I'm going to give you some specific tips on how to actually go about writing a hook for your essay. So how do we actually write a hook? Well, the four main strategies that I usually teach are the strong statement, starting with a fact or statistic, starting with an anecdote, or starting with a question. There are some other techniques you could use, but I'm going to focus on just these four for this video. I'm going to give you some examples on how I would use each of these for a couple of different topics. They might not be the best examples in the world, but hopefully they're good enough to give you some ideas on what you can do with your essay. First, we're going to start with a strong statement. This is the first option you could consider using to start your essay. A strong statement is just kind of an exaggerated sentence that you write that would maybe shock the reader and make them want to know, hey, what's this guy talking about? So for example, if I was going back to my essay about how we should not have homework, I might start off with a strong statement such as, homework is ruining the lives of countless children around the world. Well, if I was doing my essay about how electric cars are going to be replacing gas-powered cars, I could start off with a strong statement such as, a new era in the automotive industry is about to begin, and most people have no idea it's coming.
I like it.
The second option that I teach for writing a hook is starting with a fact or statistic. First thing I'll say is don't make up these facts or statistics. Find them somewhere, and depending on your grade level, you're going to need to find a way to reference where you got the information from in some way or another. My videos are directed at a 5th grade level, so using something like a bibliography and mentioning the article title is usually enough. Depending on your grade level, you might have to do more to actually reference where you got the information from. So again, let's go back to my homework essay. Instead of doing the strong statement, I could start off with a fact or statistic by saying something like, studies have shown that homework leads to low student self-esteem and depression. So why do teachers continue to assign hours of homework every day? Here's a fact or statistic I could use for my electric vehicles essay. According to nationalgeographic.com, vehicles are America's biggest air quality compromisers, producing about 1/3 of all U.S. air pollution. Thankfully, a solution to this enormous problem is already on the way. And the third strategy that I teach for a possible hook is an anecdote. An anecdote is just a small story. Could be something that's slightly made up, or could be a factual event that happened that basically shows, in general, an example of what's the problem that we're seeing. For my essay on why we shouldn't have homework, every day, Jimmy comes home from school and plops his heavy backpack on the ground. His back aches and his mind races as he thinks about what still lies before him. After a long day at school, he now has to prepare for his daily battle with homework. Students all over the world are suffering, just like Jimmy. And if I were going to use an anecdote for my electric vehicle essay, it might sound something like this. If you look at a photo of 5th Avenue in the year 1900, the streets were lined with horses and carriages. 15 years later, hardly a single horse could be seen after they were replaced by automobiles. History is about to repeat itself. This time, gas-powered cars are going to disappear. And the final option I teach is starting the essay with a question. Now, students love this because they think, oh, they can just put anything with a question mark at the end and you'll have a good question. No, the question should be something that makes the reader think. And one tip that I usually give, because students seem to struggle with this and coming up with good, thought-provoking questions, is I challenge them not to even use any of the words in their thesis statement in their question. So for example, if you're writing about homework, don't even mention homework. So again, if I'm writing an essay about the topic of why we shouldn't have homework, I might start with a question such as, why do teachers constantly insist on ruining the lives of their students? Again, I didn't mention homework there, and as I continue my introductory paragraph, I'll give more information about homework and how it's affecting students. Here's a question I could use for my electric vehicle essay. Would you like to know how to save the planet while also saving yourself a ton of money? Again, did not mention electric cars at this point. It's kind of a mystery what my essay will actually be about, but hopefully I've caught your attention. You can play around with these different ideas. You don't have to just choose one and stick with that. You could try doing a question. You could try doing a fact or statistic, an anecdote, or a strong statement, and then get some peer feedback. Have other students or your teacher read it and help you decide which one is the best one, which one is the most interesting, which one is going to keep people reading. Another tip is that if you're really stuck writing a hook for your essay, you technically don't need to write it before finishing the rest of your essay. You could just write something to get started, continue with the rest of your introduction, your body paragraphs, your conclusion, and then go back and think of something later. You might even have more ideas after writing your full essay. So that's the magic of writing, is that you can go back and revise as you go along. So keep in mind, you want to have a good hook at the start of your essay in order to catch the reader's attention so that they'll actually want to read the entire thing. That's it for this video. In my next video, I'm going to explain how to finish the rest of your introductory paragraph, because just having your hook and your thesis statement is not enough. So stay tuned.